Okay, questions for the three student athletes? Raise your hand. We'll get a mic out to you. We'll start right down here in the middle.
Hey, Matt, you guys were down 7 in the second half. You got the 3, and then you got the steal for the dunk, and then there's a timeout, and you're kind of exhorting your teammates on. Do you think that was your leadership? You were trying to show them what it was going to take down the stretch?
Yeah. We're down 7. We need to make something happen. I think I just missed the 3, and I came off, got a good look. Bryce, I think, found me in the corner on that one, and great look by him. And we just needed something to happen, and I found a good spot to get a steal there and a quick bucket. And just in timeouts, just trying to keep guys, staying aggressive and believing. And Coach said when we were down 7, it's only a couple possessions. It's not, it's not over. So it was great to see our guys believe and be confident to put a run of our own on them and go up 7 on our side.
Right out here.
Yeah, Aaron, like Coach said, the rebounding effort in the second half was much better. I mean, would you guys make adjustments defensively, especially on Myers-Leonard?
Yeah. Defense on the boards, we definitely talked about having the crash offensive boards. We didn't have any in the first half, so especially me and Zach, I think really try to get down there, try and get one back if we couldn't make them, because that's big to spark that run. If you miss a 3 and you get it and you kick it back out, and Matt hits a couple, make a couple layups. That's how you spark something. I think that was big in the second half for us.
Back out here.
Matt, in the second half, when you were down, I think 6, you seemed to be vocal, trying to get everybody up, keep them up. How important was this game to you, based off your career, based off everything?
Huge. I don't want to go home. I want to keep playing. I don't want to take this uniform off. And I think all the guys up here and in the locker room feel the same way. Personally, I haven't been past this first day, and it feels good to get past it, but you got to get over that and go get the next one now. It's back to the film room, and we got to get ready for Michigan State and keep extending this. We're playing for our lives, and it's a great feeling when you get it done, and it's a great group of guys to do it with.
Let's get out here about row 4, and then we'll come back up front.
Matt, obviously, you guys have played in a lot of really close games this year, not just your team, but every team in the Big Ten. And a lot of people are saying that this year it's the strongest conference in the Big Ten. Do you think that?
The strongest year?
Strongest conference.
Oh, yeah,
in
the
basketball.
nation. Yeah, I mean, people keep saying that. So yeah, I believe it. I'm a little biased because I'm in the conference and see the teams every week. But top to bottom, every team's knocked off a ranked opponent. I think I've heard that. And there's no nights off in this league, no matter if it's home or away. And that's how you got to approach it, and that's how we got to approach the game tomorrow.
For a team like you guys that has to obviously, go on a big run to make it into the NCAA tournament, does that give you, does that help buoy you because of the fact that, you've seen this year that every team can beat everyone?
Absolutely, yeah. It puts that belief in ourselves. We've proven we can beat ranked teams, and teams we've been the underdog and won. Anybody can beat anybody in this league on the given day, and then we're gonna try to prove that the rest of this weekend. It starts tomorrow.
Back down in front.
Bryce, you've had an up and down season. How satisfying was it for you to play a game like you played today, the way you controlled the offense, got a lot of assists, just played the game where you've done so many times?
It's been frustrating being injured, but when healthy, I know I can play this game. So it was very gratifying today to dish the ball like I did and get my teammates involved.
Back out here.
Matt, it looked like you were matched up a lot on Brandon Paul today. You only had 4 points. I think it was like 2 of 11. Do anything particularly different on him, or just paid a lot of attention to him?
Yeah, coming in definitely, because he's their leading scorer, one of their main keys, and we approached the game with our eye on him. And I think last game he had 17 against us, so we knew he was going to be a key to stop it. But it was a team effort on him. I just wanted to be the aggressor, make it tough on him, limit his touches, limit his easy looks. But those other guys getting their hand in there, getting a hand in his face, and making his looks tough. But yeah, I thought overall we did a good job on him. He's a good player.
Back down in front.
Fran, Zach's numbers have gone down.
Student athletes only, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just for any of you guys, I mean, Zach's dirty work has really come over. How much
Aaron, will you take that, please?
I couldn't really hear you, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. You kind of cut in and out.
Yeah, Zach on the defensive end, as far as all the dirty work he has to
Okay.
do down there.
Yeah. You know, being undersized at 6'7", to go out there and, you know, front Myers like that, who's 7'1", just an unbelievable effort. But that's not like the first time he's done that. He's done that in the Northwestern game, you know, denying the high post. I mean, in this league, you got a bunch of centers. You got Zeller. You got, you know, obviously Leonard. You know, that's just a tough matchup for him. But he's been working his tail off. Really proud of him. You know, be able to front him like that and fight him, and then, you know, go get a couple rebounds for us. That was huge. So maybe his numbers aren't showing it, but he's definitely making a big impact, you know, for our team.
Let's go back out to the back.
This one's for both Bryce and Matt. After Illinois hit a three to cut the lead to 1, Bryce, you were inbounding the ball to Matt. Matt, you caught the ball. Were you, first of all, Bryce, were you looking for Matt? And second of all, Matt, when you got the ball and then just turned to dribble up the court, were you looking to get fouled immediately, and then you decided just to dribble it all the way up?
Bryce, start with you, please.
All right. Yeah, I was looking for Matt. He's our best free throw shooter, so we're gonna get the ball to Matt so we can assure ourselves some points.
Yeah, and when he got it to me, you're expecting to get fouled right away with them. That I think it was like 16 on the clock, but they tried to trap, and I just split it. And at that point, I wanted to get up the court and waste as much clock as I could. And those last minutes seemed to take forever, and you just want to, you know, run them out. But you know, they came from behind and got me, and it was a good find by Bryce.
Got time for a couple more. Let's go out here to Herb.
For any or all of the players, you guys were down 7, and then it seemed like 2 minutes later you were up 7. Talk about what you saw there from them. Did you sort of feel like you got into their heads? Did they sort of lose whatever? What was the changeover you saw from them?
Aaron, will you take that, please?
I just think the momentum of the game really switched. Matt really sparked that run with that 3 in the corner, then the steal and the dunk. And when the momentum changes like that, I mean, you feel really confident coming down the floor, both defensively and offensively. So for us, we got a couple stops, started making our shots on the other end, and then, you know, next thing you know, we're up 6 or 7 points, and the whole game has, you know, flipped in a matter of a couple minutes. But yeah, that was a huge part, and I think, you know, Matt really sparked that for us with the 3 and the dunk.
We have one final question for the student athletes before we let them go. Okay, gentlemen, you may return to the locker room. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Iowa locker room again open until 2 o'clock. Illinois locker room is open as well till 2:08. Now we'll go to questions for Coach McCaffrey. Start right down here in front.
Coach, just how satisfied were you with the rebounding effort in the second half, particularly after the way the game in Champaign went?
Well, I think not only the way the game went in Champaign, but the way the first half went. You know, we couldn't get any traction because we couldn't get a second shot. We couldn't get a putback. We couldn't get another opportunity. And if we were going to affect some change in the second half, or the way things were going for essentially 3 halves, we had to get some second shot opportunities and keep them on defense a little longer.
You were a little outspoken on Matt not making the all-defensive team, but just talk about his defense on Brandon Paul today.
You know what? I mean, I could come up with a number of different superlatives, but I mean, it's the same effort every night. And that's why I thought he deserved to be on the team. Now, you know, I don't want to get too sideways about it because, you know, it's disrespectful to the guys who made it, because the reality is they're all terrific defenders. But I think he's the best.
Right out here.
Coach, Illinois went this entire game without shooting a single free throw. What does it say about the effort that you got from your defense for all 40 minutes?
You know, I could kind of see it early. I thought our defense, because the defense is in front of our bench, I thought our effort level was incredible. And then you look down at halftime, and they shot 14 for 28, shot 50%, and they had 11 assists on 14 baskets. And it just goes to show you how well they were executing and what kind of players they have. And you know, their intention to come in here and play well and play hard and compete and win. So in the second half, it was much better. I think in particular in the first 5 minutes, you know, we really made a little push, and then we had the 20-5 run, which was really evident. We got up toward the ball and got in the passing lanes, got a couple steals. Matt, Aaron White, Marble, you know, 3 big steals there.
Back out to the back.
Fran, in the first half, some of your guys seemed a little tentative going against Leonard. In the second half, they seemed to attack him, attack the post a little bit better. Was that a concentrated effort, or was it just something that as the game was
No,
going
you know
on?
what, Scott? When you're playing Illinois, your effort has to be concentrated the entire time. You're not going to make a whole lot of changes. I mean, you can't play behind him. You have to be in front of him. Now you're worried about high-low. You're worried about lobs over the top. And so our weak side help was pretty good, but our ball pressure in the second half, I think, was a little bit better than it was in the first half. Not so much from the high post. It was good from the high post in both halves, but from the wing, I thought the second half was better.
Right out here.
Fran, now McCabe. He makes.
Well, the thing about Zach is, it's great when he has numbers. He had a stretch there where he was getting 18, 20 points, but he affects the game in a positive way if he doesn't have scoring numbers, because he's going to defend and he's going to execute, he's going to make his free throws. He's not a big mistake guy. He has gotten in foul trouble. If he's going to make mistakes, a lot of times it's fouling. And obviously we were worried about that today, because when you're going against a guy that's that much bigger than you, you're worried about heavy foul trouble and getting them into the bonus or the double bonus, but that didn't happen.
Out here.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Michigan State? When you played there, they shot the lights out, and your plans for
Well, they
tomorrow?
shot the lights out, but the other thing they did was they D'd us up. I mean, they really took us out of what we wanted to do. So it was a combination of both. I mean, it was an incredibly concentrated effort at both ends of the floor. And that's why it was a 30-point game. So obviously we're going to have to do a much better job tomorrow.
Right down here.
Fran, can you, from your perspective, three-pointer by Matt, then his steal and dunk when you were down 7. To your eyes, how pivotal was that in turning momentum?
Oh, that was the pivotal piece right there. I mean, that was the pivotal part of the game. They're up 7. I mean, Rick, you've been around. I mean, 7 can go to 11 quick, or 7 can go to 1 or 2. And that changes everything for the rest of the game. And as Aaron said, I mean, we then had the momentum. They had it. And then when he hits the 3 and a steal and a dunk, okay, now everything's changed. They got to call timeout, and they got to get reorganized. We can change defenses. We can, we just have a more confident bunch coming out of that timeout, and we scored the ball. Now, we got to a point where we were struggling scoring the ball. We did. And a lot of that had to do with how much they were fighting and their defensive effort.
Got time for one more right here.
Coach, can you just talk about the press you guys did in the second half? I think you guys got a couple of turnovers off, if I remember.
We got a couple of turnovers, a couple of times they took it right through us, too. And that was unfortunate for us. They got a little bit tentative, 1 or 2 possessions there. And that's kind of what you want. You want them to go a little bit sideways, a little bit less, especially when you have athletes and a great big guy. You want them to go a little bit more east and west than north and south.